In my line of work, rules are everything. A good agent, they do what they're told. A good agent trusts nobody but themselves. A good agent keeps their head down. They say that in this cold city, nothing ever changes. There's only one problem with that. I disagree. In this business, there's only one rule I follow. I always bring back up.
So, where to?
To solve another case. This job is eating me alive. I can't breathe anymore. If I didn't come out, this golem dies. They're gonna kill him, you hear? 'Cause he stood up for me. And I live with that every day, you understand? I spent all these years being the good guy, you know, the agent in the black hat. And for what? For nothing. I'm not becoming like them. I am them. We're live. Okay. You should. There you go.
Hello, every Kapu. My name is Wren Akane. I'm a former bureau agent and talented investigator here. And I'm here to apply for an employment position with any level of pay in return for 50% sake of my time. Anyways, you should see. Well, I have a presentation for you guys, but before I do, I'd like to give a full body turnaround. I'm pretty cool. I'm here in digital space, in the flesh, digitally. I have a coat. I have a hat. Tech, can we turn me around? Yeah, look at me. Look, I'm flying. I can fly. Apparently, that's really cool. Hello. This all made by student work, by the way. I'm modeled by Lin Yang, so shout out to her. With technical support from Tim Chen and Sika Su, which I will talk about more later. But look at how good of a job they did, guys. Like look at this. Hi, look at me. So cool. But anyways, okay. So now that you've seen me, let's talk about why you should invest in me. Okay, so I've got some confidential files here for you. Don't worry, I won't get in any more trouble for sharing it with you guys. But let's begin. So, as I said earlier, name's Wren Akane. My pronouns are none of your. sorry. I'm not allowed to say that. My pronouns are they them. If you can't do that for whatever reason, I will also accept she her. My birthday is June 21st, and I'm 24 years old, which I know. I look way younger, right? Very cool. My height is 1.7 kapus, which I think is about 170 centimeters, or like 5 feet 7 inches in Earth units. I don't really know what Earth units you guys use, but there's that. Whoa. Wait, I have to talk about my weight. Okay, you know what? Sure. I weigh in at about 4.1 kapus. I don't actually know what you guys use for Earth units, but yeah, 4.1 kapus. Okay, well, I mean, I guess, I'll talk a little bit more about what this means later, but my job is a bureau agent, or I guess a former bureau agent. Technicalities, don't worry about it. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit more about that later. And what kind of languages do I speak? Well, okay, so this is kind of a story. So when you train as a secret agent, there's usually a lot of language requirements that they bring in. You sometimes Earth languages are really important. So they teach us English, of course, but they'll run through some other stuff too. You got some like French, you got some German, you got some like Japanese, you got all sorts of other languages. The problem is I really like languages. They're really cool, except I really struggled to actually stay in one language class. I guess that the teachers weren't a big fan of me. I don't know what the deal was there. But it was pretty difficult. So I do know a few words in a bunch of other languages, but it's really just to farm aura. Let's be real here. Yeah. Okay. So before I keep going on, I do have an official disclaimer that I do have to tell everybody. This is mandated by me. A mandated disclaimer that I have to say, because otherwise I will get in trouble. So in this wonderful lore trailer that I think you guys all got to see that just before the stream, you may have seen some fires, some smokes coming out of things. You know, legally, you might come to the conclusion that this is a cigarette of some kind or some kind of smoking tobacco kind of thing. Legally, I have to say it is not. What is it? But now you may be wondering, well, what is it then? It is a chalky. Well, so I mean, it's basically like a biscuit-like snack. I don't know. I've been told that you guys have something similar in your world, but you know, I have to say, like, I started eating them as snacks, you know, to cope with the long shifts, and you know, I'll be honest, it started as a joke. You know, I started lighting them up as a joke. You know, but wouldn't it be funny if I smoked this biscuit? But you know, I'm averaging like 3 packs a day now, so I don't even know if it's a joke anymore. Oh, what am I doing? Jeez. Don't make my mistakes. But okay, anyways, so I know for interviews, work history is super important. You know, I hear that people have their resumes. They have their their internships, their experiences that they've put out. And you know, I would like to do the same thing. Unfortunately, I don't really have a resume prepared. I didn't really think ahead this far. But so I'll talk what I will. So I'll talk a little bit about my background, and you know, I'll talk about. Well, I actually have something for you for this. All right. So, a long time ago, we had this guy. His name was Wrenegades. Now, I believe that what I've been told is that Wrenegades came from this world, came from Earth. And he came into our world of Evannaria. And now our world is, you know, maybe you heard of it, but we do some magic there. It's a magic world. We've got the ruling class of magic users. And I won't lie, they are a little bit mean to people who don't use magic. But anyways, we had this guy called Wrenegades come in, and he messed everything up for us. Okay, well I say that, but he kind of also gave me a job, in a way. So Wrenegades, he brought in all these things, all these technologies, all these powers, things that, you know, would empower non-magic users. And well, that really shook things up. All right, well, you know, we don't know what happened to him. It's a mystery what happened to Wrenegades. But he disappeared one day. And well, but his technologies didn't. And well, to maintain the order, the social order, and the status quo of all this new technology, they introduced this new organization. It's called the Bureau. Now, the Bureau, officially, was supposed to enforce limitations on the use of magic and magical technology. But I didn't know this at the time, but what I realized was that they were just using the magic. They were using the magic technology. And, you know, that wasn't that cool. I didn't like that. So, you may be wondering how I got here. Well, I was selected as a bureau agent as a child. You know, they picked me up one day. They trained me. I don't really remember that time all too much. But it was a hard time. You know, I worked a bunch of different roles. I worked a bunch of different jobs in the bureau. But one thing that they had me doing was securing magical artifacts. And you know, one day I ran into these. I had to go out into the forest, and there was this magical lab out there. And I found what ended up becoming my genmate Apollo. Is this big stone guy. And you know, we had some chats. He had some wisdom to give me. respectfully, I disagreed. But you know, we talked about it, we worked it out, and you know, I thought that was that. But later, well, much later actually, the Bureau announced a new line of peacekeeping golems. They looked an awful lot like Apollo. So now, I didn't really like that. So I gently persuaded the Bureau to give up Apollo, and I also filed my resignation and decided to borrow some tech so I could come here to Earth. Well, am I a pigeon? Okay, so I have heard that a lot of people have been alleging that I am a pigeon. For the sake of the court, I am not a pigeon. I am a wren. It's a type of bird. It's a different type of bird. And yes, I am not a pigeon. But anyways, where was I? Right. So anyways, I had my disagreements with the Bureau, and I decided to part ways. And, you know, it was a very civil affair. And I decided to, you know, I heard that there was this world of Earth where people were more chill. So I decided to bring Apollo over, and the two of us decided to come in here. That being said, though, I do realize that now that we are here, things are a lot more expensive than I thought. Apparently, I don't like y'all take a different kind of money here. So yeah, that's been fun. And that's why I think that you know, I'm looking for new employment right now, and I really like to bring my experience as a secret agent to aid this organization. Okay, well, and you know, the likes. Let's talk about things that I like. So, you know, I was talking about how things are really expensive here, but you know what's really good? It's the food. Okay, y'all, you guys have no idea how lucky you guys are about the food. The food here is just like, it is honestly, like, I used to just eat because I had to, but after coming here and trying some of the stuff that you guys have here, like it's insane. Like honestly, the food is just, it's life changing. It's changed my life. I've been doing nothing but like eating all day. It's honestly a little bit horrific, but you know, it's just awesome. And you know, I really like all the kinds of food, but I think what really hit me the most, what I really liked, you guys have tea here. Like, you know, there's a bunch of different tea. There's like green tea. There's like black tea. Like I don't know how or why you put leaves in water, but like it tastes really good. What else is really good is cheese. Cheese is really awesome. I honestly think like I might just like, okay, so I came in and I had, it was a burger, and I think this is what you call it, a burger, and it had cheese on it. And honestly, I thought the color was a little bit off-putting at first, but you know what? I don't know what you guys do with cheese, but it is like the best thing I've ever had. Like honestly, it's freaking amazing. And yeah, like I honestly, I feel like I'd be eating cheese all day. I've had to be stopped a few times, but we'll work on that. And Chalky is good. I've been told that you guys have an alternative here. It's called something different. But yeah. I don't have a problem with Chalky. No, not at all. But okay, you know, enough about the food. You know, I hear that this program's a media school. I love media, and I probably wasn't supposed to. But you know, back in the Bureau, we would find a lot of Earth media, like contraband media, while securing artifacts. And you know, on a long empty shift, it's you do what you gotta do. What do I like specifically? Well, there's a couple things that I do. Well, so I'm a big fan of the cool. Like I think the thrillers, in one word, thrillers. Like thrillers are freaking awesome. Like you've got like those action animes, you've got cop shows, you've got like psychological horror, terrifying things, you know. All of those things are the stuff that really gets you on the edge of your seat. That's my jam. I really love that kind of jam. Honestly, my favorite series of all time is Psycho Pass. because like honestly, it's kind of all three. You know, it's a cop show, it's an action movie, and it is kind of psychological horror, I guess. So yeah. You know, but some other shows I like as well. I watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine. That was a really cool thing. I could only watch like some episodes. It's hard to get episodes in the Evan area, but honestly, like if that's how your cops are here, like that's awesome. Like that's freaking awesome. I also enjoy playing games. Games are really cool too. You know, it's really fun. It's a fun way to try to test tactical skills in a way that's more chill. You know, you don't have any life or death situations or anything like that. You know, I play a lot of FPS games. It's really fun to kind of to keep on edge there. And you know, I kind of enjoy most flavors. I know there's a bunch of different kinds. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like all the flavors of that. You know, Overwatch comes to mind, but you know, I've played other things too, like Rainbow Six Siege or more realistic things. Oh, well, thank you very much for the memberships, Sparky Pixel. Who's gifted 10 memberships out to chat. Thank you so much. But anyways, as I was saying, you know, I do enjoy games because it's a way to kind of test my skills in a way that doesn't, you know, nobody's gonna get real hurt if I mess up. And you know, I enjoy having that low stakes there. You know, I play more strategic games too. I like chess, though honestly I'm not that good at it. You know, I've seen some players play with like, you know, like 5 moves ahead with all their like French defenses and things. I don't really understand that, but I think as a game, chess is really cool. I really enjoy RTS games as well. Age of Empires 4 was something that I had access to, but I started getting into some of the older stuff too. I think there's a game called like StarCraft, which has been pretty cool. And I also really enjoy builders, like building games. So, you know, I do like creating things. I feel like in my line of work, there's a lot of destruction. There's a lot of taking away, but I want to give back. I want to give back to people. And I think building and making things just really cool, like cool cities, cool factories, cool houses, cool bases, that kind of thing. It's a really nice piece. So you know, I would like to play some games like Minecraft as well. I haven't played too much of it, but I would like to play more of it, and things like City Skylines as well. And then I guess I'm supposed to talk about music too. I do listen to all sorts of things. Really, honestly, it's hard. It's hard to it's kind of hard to summarize what kind of music I listen to, because I kind of listen to everything. But you know, I tried to put it up here on the slides for you here. I listen to some Western stuff. I listen to some Japanese stuff, and Eurobeat. I really like Eurobeat because, you know, going fast, drifting, it's cool. Now, what do I dislike? Well, that's a very interesting question because honestly, when I was first asked this question, I didn't think I would have a lot of things I would dislike, but well, as I wrote the list expanded. So, I mean, the big thing for me, and something that's really important to me personally, is taking away self-determination. You know, I came from a place where you didn't have too much to say. It was hard. You know, you don't really get a lot of freedom. You don't really get a lot of choice when you work in a bureau. And so any choice that I do make, any choice that I'm allowed to make, that's important to me. That's awesome. You know, like that's really core. And yeah, so when people take away that right for self-determination, that upsets me. And you know, on that note, I'm gonna talk about sandwiches. Sandwiches are oppression. No. Okay, I understand that sandwiches are really, really popular here, and so I want to be clear. I don't hate how they taste. Like, my point, and I need you guys to hear me out on this. Sandwiches, like, you know, they can taste really good if you make them yourself. That's awesome, but they take away from your self-determination. Okay, like think about it. Like any other food, like you could think like, I don't know, like macaroni and cheese, like a rice ball, even a burrito. Like similar-ish things where there's like a lot of ingredients that kind of come together. You can choose where to bite. You know, you have that self-determination. You can get that ratio of, you know, if let's say you bite into like a burrito, you can get your ratio of meat to rice to wrap. You know, you can bite in different angles. You can decide how much food, how much of each ingredient you want in your bite. Sandwiches don't have that. You can only I see Faye telling me that burger constitutes as a sandwich. It does constitute as a sandwich. And burgers fall in this category too. I know I said I like that burger, and the burger was good, but it did take away from my freedom. You know, honestly, like, you know, okay. Let's go back here. Let's think about it. So when I say sandwich, I mean like this picture here. Like, I got 2 pieces of bread and a bunch of stuff inside it. Like, you know, you got meat, you got avocados, you got lettuce, you got tomato, whatever else. The reason why this is oppressive is because you can only ever bite it one way. You can't ever bite a sandwich like vertically. It's kind of like really hard to do so. If you do that, it just kind of explodes everywhere. Like, it's not meant to do that. And because of that, it is limiting what you can bite and what you can eat. And again, you know, sandwiches they can be great. You know, you put everything you like in the sandwich, you can't go wrong. But it takes away from your freedoms. It takes away from your rights. You can't decide how much meat. Like, you can get that ratio is locked. You can't decide, oh, I want like a heavier meat bite this time. Like, I want this bite to have more meat in it. You can't do that because you can only ever eat it one way. So that is why I do not like sandwiches. Do they taste good? They can. And if you make them yourself, if you make your own sandwich, this is all null and void because you decided it yourself. This is fine. That's the consequence of your own planning. But if you get a sandwich outside, you are accepting. You are giving away that right to decide what to bite. And that's important. Tech is asking me, what about calzones? See, I think calzones don't fall in this category because, again, they're kind of like, they're completely wrapped. Like, they're wrapped 360 degrees. Like, it's just completely, like, it's a stuffing, right? And because of that, you can bite it any direction you want. But it's only, to be clear, it's only like sandwiches, like between 2 pieces of bread. They're flat, but you can bite them horizontally without them exploding anymore. You are breaking the cycle of oppression. Exactly. Thank you. If you eat a sandwich vertically, you are breaking the cycle of oppression. You are fighting back, and you are taking your own rights back into it. And that is really important. So I hope all of you have realized just how much control you're giving out when you eat a sandwich made by somebody else. And you know, I really hope that you take charge and you take your rights back. You know, get that freedom back. Also, mosquitoes suck. Anyways, I noticed some people may have noticed on my dislike list that I have gacha games on here. To be clear, gacha games are fun. The problem is they're too fun. My bank account is currently $0.00, and I cannot afford to start another gacha game because, as much as I enjoy gambling, there is a limit to what I can actually do before I starve, and you know, starving is no fun. Oh, thank you to Always Smile for the memberships. Very cool. Okay, but you know, I don't like talking about the things I dislike. You know, they don't come up too often, hopefully. Well, now some of you may be wondering, after all of that, after all of the sandwich talk, what's the plan now? Well, let me bring up to you my mission objectives. So I actually recently managed to enroll right here in Simon Fraser University, in the School of Interactive Arts and Technology, which has been very cool for me. I didn't expect myself to go back to school, but you know, sometimes you got to retool for employment. And so I would love to go through and continue with those studies and learn more things there. And I think what would be really cool is if I could make the world's coolest film. I don't know. I don't actually know what that looks like yet. I don't actually know what it will be about. I don't even know if it'll be if it's like a one film to rule them all kind of thing, or if we just keep trying our best there. But that is something that I would love to do. But making film is cool and all, but it don't pay the bills. And so that's why I would like to maintain my position as Seatt's #1 investigator. Now, what does that actually mean? Well, legally, I have to say that this is a self-proclaimed title and that I am actually Seatt's only investigator. But that doesn't actually make it anything I said any less true. I am still Seatt's best investigator. And, I'm going to start taking cases. I plan to take cases very, very soon. There'll be a schedule in the announcements in the Debuversary stream at the end of the night. But I will be streaming on Monday, and I'll talk more about how cases are going to look like then. But until then, we get to the most important objective. Chat, this is the most important thing that I need to do. That is the very soul and core of my being, right? Quite literally, because I will starve to death otherwise. Is that right now, right here, I need to stay employed. Because, oh my god, how do you guys do this? Like, it's so expensive here. My bureau severance package does not pay for like any of this. Like, I'm running on fumes here. Okay, like this is actually like the biggest crisis I've ever had to deal with, and I've been through like life and death situations, and this is worse. I don't know how you guys do this. I don't know how you guys manage, but my god. Finances are ridiculous. Okay. I did actually. Yes, Panda. I did actually get a severance package. It was not very generous. They were very rude employers because, frankly, I worked my entire life for them. But it was something about property damages or something that they didn't like, but you know how the employers be. They'll come up with any excuse. Okay, well, what was the thing I stole? Okay. Well, first of all, I wanted to make this very clear to the court that I didn't steal anything. I acquired an interdimensional transcommunicator, and I liberated it from the bureau headquarters and used it to make a portal to come here. I want to be very clear that there was no theft involved. I was merely it was a acquisition with a presumed consent. I asked one of the Moe guys, and they didn't say anything, so I took it as implied consent. And they said I could just take it, so I took it. And that's how we got over here. And okay, who has more? That's a very interesting question. We can definitely explore this. This can be something that we can look into as one of the cases. You should ask that again later. We can definitely go into that. But okay. Anyways, now we're at accreditation. So I recognize that from everything that I've said that I'm clearly a very, very accomplished candidate. You should definitely hire me. But I will. It would be amiss of me to not give credit to the people that helped me get here. Where did I get my fit? That's classified. But okay, as I was saying, accreditation. I couldn't have got here by myself. So I want to give out a shout out to my character designer, my VTuber parent, Jen N1, or I guess Jenny. She did this cool reference art of me. You know, the way I look, the way I am. That's all thanks. I have to give thanks to Jenny. She did an amazing job. I think it was so cool. The overlay, the logo, the stinger that you saw in the beginning, with all the motion graphic animation, that was done by Cloak. So thank you very much to him as well. Oh, she's in the chat. There you go. So yeah, hello. Hi Cloak. Thank you very much for your work. It looks really, really awesome, and I think this is absolutely like super cool. You know, I mentioned this earlier, but my 3D model, I was modeled by Lin Yang, and then we had implementation support by Tim Chen and Sika Su from Red Hydrogen Studios. And Sika was our mentor, who basically helped us do a lot of the work. Sort of taught us about a lot of things. So thank you very much to them as well. And yeah, it was honestly awesome. And you know, I also do have to talk. I can't talk about how we got here without talking about IAT 443. So this gen, my gen, myself, Apollo, who you will see later. All of us were made as a result of a class, a university class. This class is called IAT 443. Senior Project in Creative Media. And, you know, we got all other than Sika, who was our mentor, everyone else that I just mentioned, they were a student in IAT 443, alongside so many other students from IAT 443, and all of those people, all of them made this happen today. Like, that is actually a very good question. I don't know how many IAT 443 people are in chat right now, but if you see this is all thanks to you. You guys made this possible. So thank you all so much. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart. This is fantastic. Damn, that brings a tear to my eye. But okay, well, let's talk about some other things. So, incoming content. So like I said, we're going to be talking about a lot of announcements and a lot of very, very exciting announcements, I should add, over at the end of the evening in the debutanniversary, which I believe tech starts at 9? Yes, okay, I am getting confirmation. It does start at 9 p.m. PST today. It's a very exciting show. I hope you guys will tune in. If you're, you know, I think we'll be posting a schedule there, but my first stream will be on Monday, where I will talk about how you can submit new cases. You know, we do want to keep up the investigations here at CIAT. And yeah, let's talk about tags. So I thought long and hard about all the different tags. You know, my general tag is just my name. It's real simple, Wren Akane. And you know, I thought long and hard about a follower tag. You know, a lot of people, you know, they thought about it, they struggled about it, and you know, I wanted something that really speaks to the spirit of what it means to follow Wren. And you know, as somebody who's very strongly against taking away self-determination, I don't even want to call you guys followers. You guys are renegades. You know, you made your own decision to be here, and you know, I respect that for you. I've got my Oshi mark over there as well. It is a hat and a feather. And if you do have any art, I would be very, very happy to see all of it. You can tag it at hashtag #artrender, and that's render with a W. Because, you know, we like rendered art. Yeah, you guys are rebels. Renegade. Okay. Well, that actually is pretty much my entire presentation here, almost. But you know, would like to answer some questions if you guys got any. I have the floor open for questions. I do like questions. I am an investigator. I like figuring these kind of things out. What is Golf Bravo Juliet? So Golf Bravo Juliet. Well, if you're ever familiar with something called a NATO alphabet, it basically it's like a phonetic way to talk about the the letters in the alphabet. So Golf Bravo Juliet is GBJ, which I think I can say this. I think it means it means gay baby jail. That's just one of the facilities at the bureau. It's not a nice place. I've been there. It really sucks. I wouldn't go there if I were you. How does it feel to finally be here? Well, it's been great. Honestly, I'm a little bit jet lagged. The time zone difference between dimensions is really, really high. So I do apologize. If you hear me sniffling too, you guys, I caught some kind of like cold from here. I think is what it's called. Some kind of illness, some kind of plague. But we'll get over it. Is it rendered art if it's unrendered? Yes. If it's about Wren. Is my hair dyed or is it natural? It actually is natural. Like, my hair is naturally red. I don't know if I could actually go through, like, I'm too busy to actually maintain any hair dye. I feel like that'd be too difficult for me to do. What's the most cheese you've eaten in an entire sitting? No, okay. I'm kind of embarrassed to say this. I don't actually know how I can measure that, but like a grocery bag worth. What else do we have here? How much will I sell my... The hat is not for sale. I want to make this very clear. The hat is not for sale. I will not sell my hat. This is my hat. I worked for it. It's mine. What's my favorite tea? No, Tech, you cannot have my hat. I will hit you with the hat if you try and take it from me. Do not take my hat. Does veggie soup count as tea? I mean, it depends on what kind of veggie, I think. If it's a leaf, it's leaf and water, so I guess, yeah, technically. I'm secretly hiding a bald spot with my hat. Is that the theory right now? You know what? No. You know, I'm going to disprove this right away. I can actually take my hat off. See? No bald spot. I am not hiding a bald spot. This is lies and slander, and I will not have it. I know you are my VTuber parent, and I will, but there is no bald spot, okay? Were the sunglasses in the trailer made of fire? Well, actually, so you know how people can learn magic from in Avenaria in my world. I put all my studies into learning the art of drama. You know, I practiced really hard to learn that spell to snap and put on sunglasses. So those are actually just they are real sunglasses. It does make things darker, but you know what? Honestly, with all the explosions, it's fine. Can I take off the coat? Yes, I can take off the coat. Hello. This is me with no coat. Yeah. The ball spot is at the... I don't have a ball spot. I promise you I do not have a ball spot. I'm old, but I'm not that old. Cool people may not look at explosions, but the explosions do reflect off sunglasses, so you can see them still. Turn around without my hat. Tech, can I turn around without my hat? Can you turn me around? We have to end. See, there are no blind spots. There are no ball spots. You could take a look. See, there's no ball spot. My arms may be broken, but there are no ball spots. What if the entire head is a ball spot? That's not a ball spot anymore. I'm not entertaining that. Okay, jeez, that was... Please don't make me turn around again. That was very, very exhausting. Okay, well. Yes, I do not have a blind spot. Or a ball spot, for that matter. I forgot. I do have one more thanks to give out as well. I would like to thank Yuzu for... I don't know what the actual full tag I can give out is, but thank you very much to Yuzu who made the lovely tea pouring introduction loading screen. She animated that. It was very, very cool. And I would like to also thank I don't actually remember their tag. Tech, that's not their tag. Okay, sorry, we're experiencing some things right now, but anyways, it's been we do have to keep the show going tonight. We have a lot of other things coming up tonight. I have my genmate Apollo. He's the big stone golem. He's really cool. He's debuting right after me, and then after all of that, we've got some really, really big, cool announcements, as well as a really fun show for you at the end of the night. Again, that's at 9 p.m. PST. So please come in and check us out there, because that will be really fun. Thank you, Chalky. That is a Yuzutama, or Yuzu Sorbet 707, who did the opening loading animation. But okay. Anyways, thank you so much for coming in to see my debut. That concludes my pitch, and I do hope that you consider that my interpersonal skills and my general experience is an asset to this program. And you know, I really believe that I can be a great asset and bring a lot to the table here. I am going to start wrapping up now, so this is Wren Akane signing off.